Welcome to Beaded Doilies by Shell. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to create hexagon doilies. This original design was created with the light red, but as I was doing my pieces I found I actually like the dark red better, so that is what I will be using in the videos. One thing I'm doing right now is I'm redoing my pattern collections. So I wanted to show you what you get. Your first page is just some general information to help you make your piece. The second page includes color count for round in pattern collection 1 and hexagon, as well as my band doilies. Then I have a size chart which gives you the approximate size for some popular beads, delicate beads, seed beads, 2 sizes of seed beads. And then for the beads that I originally created the patterns for, the faceted beads, I have my 4mm crystal and then the 4, 6, and 8mm plastic. In this video we are going to be creating a hexagon. For the 3 smallest patterns, you're just adding the corners to make the hexagon pattern. When you get to the larger patterns, you'll stay inside the black line. You can either cross these off to remind you, or you can use scissors and cut out the hexagon shape. These new patterns include quite a few sizes. And all of them have both round and hexagon available, and we go all the way up to the largest size, which is large enough it's on 4 pages. Now let's see. Okay. One thing I wanted to mention is that when you go to print, a lot of programs now will open up the PDF file, but when it goes to print it, it'll print it portrait. And as you can see from, this comparison, that makes your pattern quite a bit smaller, so it's a little harder to read. So you want to make sure to check your settings and that it is set to landscape so that you can get the best size for reading your pattern. As you also can see here, I have done the patterns so that you can also print them black and white. At home I have a black and white printer. My daughter printed the color ones at the college. And here you can see it also with the outline in the black and white. Now also I want to mention that all my patterns have a name, and the name represents, the number represents the original size it was created for, 4mm, 6mm, or 8mm. And then the letter represents the size of the doily, which we have small, coaster, ornament, pendant, earring, and then medium and large. With the size chart, if you're using a different bead size, you can look through and see what size about you would want your doily to be, and then you can create it the size you need it. Now in this video, I am doing, I wanted to also show you, I'm not real creative with the hexagon patterns, so what I've done instead is did them in different colors to show you that even though this one has set colors, you can still be creative and make it with other color combinations. These are the ones that I picked out. Also, here is it done with seed beads. And for this piece, these are the colors that I used. But you can pick all variety of different green, yellow, and reds, or as I showed you, you can choose other colors as well. And then this pattern is an earring size, So I show you where you can add your accessory. And here I have a crystal. Here are the colors that I did, but it's in the round because, like I said, I don't usually use the hexagon, so I don't get real creative with them. And I show you that where you add the accessory. You add it in between. With the larger beads, you add it in between these two beads as you are beading. However, if you're using the small beads, you can just add it with the two beads because it's going to move around. It's not going to stay in between them. But you just add it at the same time as these two. And like I said, with the larger beads, you want to make sure to add it in between them. Now, we are going to do a stitch that I actually have never done before. And I'm going to start with the 1 needle version. I'm going to do a 1 needle and 2 needle version for this stitch. And what you do is you start in the center and then you work your way out and you add the next round and then you add the next round. So we'll start in the center. I've got the 1 needle with my tape at the one end, and we're going to add the center, and they are all green. Oh, and I want to show you the colors I'm using. So we have 18 ruby. The light color is 17 Christmas red, in case you prefer the lighter color. And we have 4 dark avocado and 23 sun gold. That is what we will be using for this piece. So we're going to start by adding 6 of the green. Now, as our center for this piece is all the same color, we don't need to worry about where we are really. But if you do have different colors, you will want to make sure that you know where you're starting for the next circle, depending on what the colors of the center is. I think a lot of the small doilies, the center is usually one color, but sometimes they are different colors. Okay, so we have our 6 doilies. Beads. We go back to the first one and we thread through it so our string is coming out the same side it came out previously. And there we have our first circle. Now this time on my regulars I did not mark the pattern, but as this is a new stitch I'm going to mark with a pattern so I know where I am. So I'm going to say we are coming out of the top bead here. And we're coming out on this side. So we're going to start by adding this circle next. So we have red, yellow, red, yellow, red. So we add a red and a yellow, another red, yellow, and red. Then we will bead through this bead our string is coming out of. We will go, like I said, the same direction that our string is coming out. And we'll bring our circle together. And there we have our first 2 circles. Now there are 2 directions you can go with this. You can either go up through the one you just added, just 1 bead, or you can go to the next bead on your center. I'm going to try going through the next bead on my center. So we'll go through the next bead on the center, and that adds this circle, and as we went through the next bead on our center, that puts us coming out here. So we're going to add red, yellow, red, yellow. And this time we're going to go through this bead here on our previous circle we just added, and the center one that is part of the circle we're working on. And then we will go through the next center bead. So we've now added this one, and we are coming out over here. So we're going to add red, yellow, red, yellow. And we go through the bead on our previous circle and the center bead, and then the next center bead. Okay, so we've added these, and we're coming out over here. So again, with this pattern we are repeating ourselves. So red, yellow, red, yellow. This one is making it sort of easy to know where you are because we're just repeating ourselves even with the colors. All right, previous circle, center, and next center. Now I usually have clear tape on my beads so it'd be a little easier to see through, but so that you could see it, I have done the black. So we will continue. We've now added this one. We're coming out over here and we're repeating our colors. Oops. So red, yellow, red, yellow. Right, bead on previous circle. Center. And as this is our last center bead, we also need to go through the first bead on the first circle we added, as that will be part of the circle we are now doing. So we are here. We've gone through the center and this one that's already on for us. So we are up here, so we're adding yellow, red, yellow. Yellow, red, yellow. Okay, and now we're going to go through the bead on our previous circle, the center bead, and now we want to be coming up. Okay, so we are coming out here right now, and we want to come up so that we are either out one of these two. We'll go ahead and go out this direction. So we're going to go through red, and we're going to stay on the same circle we're on. We're going to go through the red and then the yellow. So we're on this circle. We're going to go through the red and the yellow. Alright, now we're up here, coming out right here, and our first circle is all yellow, so we're going to be adding 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow beads. And this is slightly different. What we're doing here now is we're coming out this bead, and we want to go in this bead that is opposite where the string is coming out. And then we want to go through the bead that our string was coming out of. And we have added these 4, and we're coming out here. Now we're coming to what I would call a corner bead. So we're going to just go through the corner bead so that we're here. So luckily our corner beads are all red, so we're going through a corner bead. And then we're going to add a yellow and 3 reds. Then we want to go through the 1 bead on our previous circle and our corner bead. Oh, somewhere I made it. Oh, 3 reds. I only put on 2 reds. Sorry about that. Alright, now we'll repeat that. Go through the previous bead on our previous circle, our corner bead, alright, now we are coming out here again, so we've added this corner, we're coming out here, and what we want to do is we want to go through 1, 2 side beads, so that's in this case 2 yellows, so we will go through 1, 2, and that makes us coming out here, and we're going to add 3 yellows, and then we want the bead on our previous circle along with the 2 beads we just went through, and then we are at a corner again, as this is the small one. When you do some of the large ones, you'll repeat this side bead several times before you get to a corner, but we're at a corner, so we've added this and we're coming out our corner, so we're going to add a yellow and 3 reds. And we want to go through 1 bead on our previous circle and our corner bead, and then we're back to side, so we will go through 2 side beads, added our corner, gone through our 2 sides, and we need 3 yellow, one bead from our previous circle and our 2 side beads, and then our corner, so add a yellow and 3 reds, now this pattern is making it somewhat easy for us for following the colors because they are just repeating. Larger patterns and more complicated ones will be a little more difficult, so be sure to practice a bit before trying a more difficult pattern. Okay, one on the previous circle and our corner. Then we will go through our 2 sides. Add 3 yellows. And we go through our 1 bead on the previous circle, our 2 sides, and our corner. Yellow and 3 reds. Now we're on our very last circle, so we will go through our corner and 1 bead on the first circle we added for this round. So we are now coming out here, and we add our last 3 beads, which are all red. And we go through 1 side bead and our corner bead. And now we can secure our string. We have lots of options. We can go pretty much any direction we want. I'm going to start with the center string as it's slightly shorter. And what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 and then come back to the center. That's 1. And then 2. And 3. the center. And once we're back where we started, we trim off, making sure not to cut the other string. Trim off our short one. And now, this one, I am actually, well, I don't want to hit the center, so I'm going to go this direction. And as I do want to go 3, I will go and turn and then come back. That's 1. Two. And this is number 3. So we'll turn and head back. And as I don't like my string going out, I'm going to go just a couple more this way and then trim off my excess. And there we have a hexagon doily where we worked from the inside out working. And as you get larger patterns, of course, you will do the side stitches more and the corners just 6 times at the 6 corners as it gets longer, bigger and bigger. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you check out my other videos where I show you how to do 2 needle going straight up and down and 1 needle going straight up and down. And I will also be doing a 2 needle version where you work from the center out.